Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the man behind the counter, Duncan, and today we're going to talk about an actor who I don't feel gets enough recognition for his contributions to the action martial art genre boom period of the 1990s. Obviously, Jean-Claude Van Damme and Steven Seagal were at the top, but in the video store era, a lot of other great action martial arts movies came along, and stars like Don the Dragon Wilson, Billy Blanks, Cynthia Rothrock, just to name a few. Jalal Mayer, he's another one I forgot to mention. They made a lot of movies, and many of which were very good. But an actor who's actually more well known than a lot of them, but doesn't get the recognition, is Lorenzo Lamas, a Renegade fan. This is his most mainstream thing he's well known for. This was a TV show, a pretty big hit in the 90s. It aired from 1992 to 1997. And he used a lot of his martial arts in that. But Lorenzo Lamas was the son of actor Fernando Lamas and actress Arlene Dahl. Arlene Dahl was a redhead in Hollywood's golden era, so he had the pedigree for acting. And he has said that he was just looking to become an actor, and he started out in some TV work as a straight-up actor. But the way he looked and his build and the martial arts training, he has a black belt in Taekwondo, and he's trained in other martial arts as well, and holds some black belts in some other disciplines as well. And so he just kind of fell into it because of like I said, it was a natural fit for him. And a lot of his movies in the 90s boom period were pretty good, but you can't really find them anywhere to stream, or they haven't been restored or anything like that. And Vinegar Syndrome and Kino Lorber and Shout Factory have done an excellent job of taking some of these older movies and restoring them and bringing them to a better presentation of what they deserve. The Perfect Weapon with Jeff Speakman was recently restored, and that movie deserved it. It looked amazing. I may do a review on that in the future. But Lorenzo Lamas, we don't talk about him as much. And Jeff Langton, who was an actor and a stuntman in this genre at the time, he was on Viking Samurai's channel talking to him, and he was asking, like, Viking Samurai asked him, like, who was a good martial arts guy who was good with the choreography, his technique was good, but he was also careful, but it looked really good. And he said Lorenzo Lamas, and a lot of people were surprised by that, myself included. I always knew he was good, but I didn't know he was among the best, for that genre, and as far as technique and how everything looks. And Jeff Langton said Lorenzo Lamas was the best. So I'm going to talk about some of his movies. These are the ones I owned. He made a lot of them during this boom period, but I'm going to do a little overview of some of them. Night of the Warrior, I think is his best one. I really like this movie. It's kind of a action drama with some strong characters, and here he does a good job with his then wife Kathleen Kinmont. They collaborated a lot together when they were married. They collaborated on Renegade. But this is a good movie. He's kind of a flawed character, but it's a good action drama. There's only 2 major fights, but the plot really hooks you, and Lorenzo Lamas does a really good job with this. This is a good movie that you really can't find anywhere, and I wish this DVD is very bare bones, and it looks okay, but it could be better, and I'd love for it to get restored. But I think this is his best, and he said in his interview with Viking Samurai, this is among one of his best. We also have another movie. Kathleen Kinmont was in this one with him as well. It's Final Impact, which is about a martial arts tournament, and he's coaching a young up-and-coming guy. And he's a flawed character here. He has a drinking problem. He's beaten up physically and mentally. And Lorenzo Lamas does a good performance with this. This movie has a lot of heart. It's a good movie. This DVD, you might be able to stream it. I'd have to look it up, but it's a good one. Then we have this one, the Terminal Justice Cybertech PD. Yeah. This movie is kind of a sci-fi action. It's kind of wacky. It gets pretty far out there. It's directed by Rick King, who did Prayer of the Roller Boys and some other films from that time. And he had some pretty crazy ideas. And this movie is pretty solid, but it gets pretty far out there. It's not his best, but I enjoy it from time to time. Then we have another movie where this has some action in it, but not martial arts. It's more of a erotic thriller. It's called Undercurrent. And here he's a guy that gets in over his head and kind of manipulated. And he's kind of down on his luck, so he kind of has to take it. And he has a deep sense of loyalty to some people. But this movie, another one you can't find anywhere, but it should get restored. It's a great thriller here that keeps you guessing. Has a lot of twists and turns, and Lorenzo Lamas is great in this. He conveys his character, Michael Aguayo, very well, of a guy who has some good intentions but gets in over his head and is torn between loyalty and being manipulated. So a lot of good stuff here. This is another one that gets kind of out there for the 90s genre. It's Good Cop, Bad Cop. This movie, pretty solid, but some things kind of come off the rails. The leading actress in here, her performance, even for this genre and this style of movie, was bad. I mean, and I'm being lenient. I've watched a lot of stuff from this genre, and the acting's not the thing that always stands out, but here, her performance, wow, it was really bad. And then we have some stuff that you can only find on VHS. This is between Night of the Warrior and this one. Kathleen Kinmont, once again, is in this with him. Final Round, where he is kidnapped and taken to a compound and hunted, and it's broadcasted over closed circuit TV to a lot of high rollers all over the world, and he's caught in the middle of this, and he has to find his way out of this compound, and he's being hunted by people that have like the Universal Soldier style cameras on him, and they're hunting him down, and he has to get out of it. And this movie's a ton of fun. I'd love for this to get restored. I've talked about that in movies that needed to be restored, but this is one of my favorite action movies. He's great in here, uses his martial arts very effectively. A good fun movie from this time. Another one, and Lorenzo Lamas said on his interview with Viking Samurai, this is among one of his favorites, but not mine, but it's not bad. It's The Rage with him, Roy Scheider, and Gary Busey. Here he's an FBI profiler, and he's kind of down on his luck. A lot of Lorenzo Lamas' characters are kind of honorable guys, but they catch bad breaks, and they have to figure out a way to get out of it. I think that's something he liked tapping into. This movie has its moments. It's pretty fun. I watch it from time to time. This is another movie, a great action movie with some over-the-top shootouts and some martial arts, but a lot of over-the-top shootouts. It's Bad Blood. I had to find this on VHS because I remember renting it in the 90s, and I really enjoyed it, and I could not find it anywhere. So this movie is a great movie. I had a lot of fun with it. Some of the action gets over the top, but it's enjoyable, kind of like Hard Target. You know, it just really goes for broke for a shootout here, and it was really well done for a movie with this limited budget. So another great one from him. It's another guy who has to bail out his brother, who's not a good guy, and he's down on his luck, but he's caught up in loyalty here. And the final one, I know this was a stretch for his range. Here he plays a bounty hunter who gets caught up, his brother's in witness protection, and he has to, try to solve the mystery of what's happening. He takes on Matthias Hughes and has to have a fight with him at the end. This is a great martial arts movie. A lot of good fight scenes. Lorenzo Lamas really shines here. There's some pretty elaborate scenes. Like they must have had some time to choreograph them, because he does a good fight with Leo Lee at his school. Leo Lee was a staple of this genre. He appeared in a lot of these films. And he has a fight with him and some of his students at a dojo, and it was a great gauntlet where Lorenzo Lamas can show his talents. So this was a good, fun movie from that time. And here's another guy who was trying to helped some people out and was torn between some loyalties. So he had a recurring theme here with a lot of his movies. He knew what he was good at, and he did this really well. But this is another movie, you really can't find it anywhere, and I'd love for it to get restored. So these are the movies I have. He made some other ones that people like. If you can name them or have them in your collection, let me know in the comments. But I always thought he was great, and I'd love to see some of his stuff get restored. So hey, Vinegar Syndrome, Kino Lorber, shout. I'd love to see some of this. Let me know in the comments, what movie would you like to see restored of any of the ones I mentioned or ones I haven't mentioned? What were some of your favorites with Lorenzo Lamas? Did you like Renegade? Any of those things, let me know in the comments. And take care till next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe.